ExAnime, episode 90, second to last episode of the season. Justus, take it away. Talk about everything yourself.
We're finishing a bunch of shows. So we'll be talking about single episodes of Spy Family, Skeleton Knight, and Another World, Dance Here.
Dance here.
And then the last two episodes of Shield Hero. And I'll also be talking about Ascendance and Cue.
We'll just go in the order I have up here. I'm not even going to worry about transitions. Just like, Spy Family didn't worry about it. Dude, okay, first of all, we got to talk about... At first, I was like, are they really just going to give us a rehash episode at the end? It's like, this is Anya Forger, blah, blah, blah. This is your Forger, blah, 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 blah. And this is Lloyd. Also, we didn't get the dog.
No, it's teased.
I thought the dog was going to happen right at the end of the season. It's like, no, dog is going to happen because this is technically all still within the first season. It's season 1, core 1. I'm like, okay, fuck off. Just call it season 1, then do season 2 as its own thing. You know what I mean? Like, there's a real point in making it like, the other one's core 2 of it. What are you doing? He was like kicking your laptop on there.
Yeah, I'm assuming they meant for it to be 24 episodes continuous, but they realized this is too much. And
too much to do at one time.
Yeah,
considering they're doing a whole bunch of other stuff, I think, this next upcoming season. They still kept up with the animation. I never felt in this show the quality had dipped.
Yeah, it is a cross-collaboration with 2 studios, so I wonder if what they've both been working on, where it's like, we want to keep the quality high, so like we can't continue as is. Oh,
sorry, the cat scratch on there. Can we mention that the old lady? I've been a spy for over 3 decades?
Yeah,
or something like this. This lady that's in this soda stall that gives out missions, and I thought it was kind of a cool touch. Oh, here's a sticker to let it know it's Twilight. Twilight, stop by, get a soda on there. And Twilight just looks fucking dead, dude. Just I was in between Operation Strix and having to do all these other operations. I'm just gonna die. Then he walks up, hears the neighbors be like, I bet he's cheating. I'm like, okay, settle down, whore.
Yeah, it's a bunch of fucking
decrepit
nosy
ladies.
Rumor
he's
mill
a terrible husband.
bitches.
And of course, yours concerned about her fake husband. I just really want them to actually get married in this series because it's she's...
There's dojins for that.
Marry, not fuck, Justus.
What's the difference?
They could be wholesome on there. They could be a good Christian family.
There's a wholesome dojins.
Oh, yeah, right. Just like your Code Geass one.
We didn't know about that till after it was bought. Because I don't want to hear anything. The one you bought, you were also like, oh, God.
I was like, oh, God, what the fuck is going on in here? No, but it was a good end to the season, especially when it's let's go to the aquarium. It's yo, they smuggled some shit in this penguin. Go find which penguin it is. And Anya's over there, mentally gauging, she's going into the penguin's mindset. There's one penguin's just dying over there.
Yeah.
Also, when did Lloyd have time to learn every single penguin's name?
He glanced at it. He's real good at memory.
That dude is a fucking fantastic, see a sheep, know everything already.
Look, there's a reason why he's the best spy in the world.
The best spy in the East.
The world. Come on now.
Nah, there's only East and West. The rest of the world doesn't matter.
The rest of the world
Also, he totally fucked over that recruit, that new kid. Because he impersonated this new kid that's supposed to start today. He's like, I know this penguin, blah, 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 blah. All the details, the feeding patterns.
You want me to become chief already? There's nothing I can teach you.
There's nothing more. The girl in the background's fucking crying out. Dude almost got fucking blasted in the penguin aquarium exhibit on there when he's trying to get the message because they're trying to get some tape or footage or film or whatever on there. But at least he shows off how good of a dad he is. It's oh, Anya, I was gone for so long because I was trying to win this penguin for you.
Well,
that he totally got on the first try.
The person who was initially trying to get the tape was found out by him because they used a real shitty fake ID. It's not even good ink. And Anya grabs onto his fucking coat and it's right. Mama, he's trying to kidnap me. And Yor just walks up and just
Fucking Falcon kicks him up through the ceiling. It's like, I'm sorry, Anya.
That man is dead. That man
is definitely dead. That was a concrete ceiling. And I love how Lloyd's off comment of like,
wow.
As it keeps going. It's like,
it's so good. It's the show has been super great. I wouldn't say it's the best show this season, personally.
You're right. Stan Sassour.
No, to me it's Kaguya, but Kaguya
had such a buildup of it.
So much.
Listen, the problem with shows nowadays is there's so many A-tier shows.
Mm-hmm.
Like Kaguya is all about action, comedy, great. Spy Families, same thing. But it's like two different genres. Like Kaguya is definitely more in that love interest, kind of funny play. I really loved how they ended the season. I felt like they tidied up most of the stuff with a few things that make you want more. Because I think Spy Family's back in October.
Yes.
It comes back in the fall, so they take one season off. Then they're back. That following season, they're doing the rest of the 12 episodes because it's supposed to be a 24-episode season 1.
Yup.
Which is a pretty strong way to start something.
And man, October's going to be packed.
Well, oh, that's right.
My Hero, Spy Family, Bleach. Ugh.
I wonder what's going to get anime of the year. There's so many good. The problem
also,
with,
To Your Eternity is coming back.
That's right. I don't want to be sad anymore.
Too bad.
To Your Eternity was like, yo, episode 1, you want to fucking cry like a bitch?
There's other sequels here, too, that I'm personally not watching, like Mob Psycho Season 3.
Yo, Mob Psycho's pretty good, though.
Yeah.
Mob Psycho's definitely like one of the shows to watch.
Golden Kamuy 4th season is airing that time, too.
Oh, Golden Kumi?
Huh? Kamuy.
Most people just call it Golden Kumi.
Yeah.
The thing is, I watched season 1, watched season 2, and I kind of dropped off because I was like, whatever, it's just kind of a show to watch. I get kind of sad because I always want all the shows to get anime of the year because there's, how do you really gauge what really is the best anime of the year?
All the shows?
Yo, fucking Platinum Man's over here. Whoop, whoop. Please delete that, future Henry.
He won't.
We know what I mean. Like when last year, what we had 2 Year Eternity going up against, oh my God, I can't think of anything.
I mean, Wander Egg was there, though that.
Listen, I know the ending. If they didn't flub the ending, it would have been, it was a great show. We'll get into it later on there. You know what else we'll get into? Naofumi and Raftalia. Heyo.
More like Raftalia wants to get into Naofumi's pants.
That raccoon's not getting any. Dude, that show got real. This episode got depressing. Like, how did you survive in there? 10 seconds later.
She almost didn't.
She's putting a noose around her neck, and she's like, no, I can't do it. It's like, that woman seriously tried to kill herself probably multiple times on there. And then that glimmer of hope.
I appreciated that, though, because it was something that they kind of glossed over, where it's like, you're trapped by yourself for 3 years. She made her own fucking Wilson. Like,
that was one of the top comments of like, man, fucking Castaway references in here. Because I even wrote that down. I was like, I guess that would happen to a lot of people. I mean, it's like someone just to talk to, because you just don't walk away from that with no like mental degradation fully. Like, she's emotionally scarred for the rest of her fucking life on there.
But she's a hero. She can overcome.
I mean, some people said Kurt Cobain was a hero. And
yeah, but those people were stupid.
Click, click, boom. I mean, it was kind of an okay.
No, that's a Saliva song.
Oh, God. I mean, that Shield Hero at least ended with some glimmer of hope. It was kind of like that emotional thing, like Turtle Girl's back, Osta-san. But I just call her Turtle Girl because she was like, go.
Ghost. She
what
was
did
a
she
ghosty.
say to him? She said something like, go here.
Oh, well, he tried to use the rage shield, and it almost consumed him, which at some point it's like, let it.
Let it take you. Unlimited power.
Yeah. Do it. I think it'd be more fun that way, but that's just me.
The thing is, I hated about the season. There's so many times when it's like, here's a peak, here's a down, here's a peak, here's a down. Also, they like defeated that dude in like 2 minutes.
Well, of course. I mean, at some point, like he just uses tricks. He's not as clever as he seems. If you get a flashback where it's like,
Oh, yeah,
apparently
speaking of
he
people
was
wanting to
like
kill themselves.
legitimately like isekai, like woke up in another world.
Yeah,
And
the dude
was
like what's his name? Kyo.
Kyo. Yeah.
Kyo was pretty much the main bad guy for this.
Mm-hmm.
Dude was a shut-in neat with mental problems, and then just
Fucking
offed
jumped out
himself.
the window.
Yeah,
If fucking
just killed himself.
Game
He's
of
like,
Thrones
"Here I am,
himself."
I'm in a new world on there.
Mhm. Yeah, it's like cool.
That was like
but
there was some definitely like we're just gonna kind of pass over it, but it's there. Like you said, it's like two people tried to kill themselves in this show. One of them succeeded. One of them got close on there.
yeah.
Which also confusing because they did the same thing. They're like, it's an episode thing. It's like, oh, here's a small flashback of like, what's happening. This is Naofumi. This is Raftalia fucking naked again. Here you go.
Yeah, Raftalia learns what like trying to get intimate as quickly as possible means.
Oh, yeah. Oast was like, yo, then you grab the dick and then you grab the boo. And then Philo's like, what do you mean, mate? Oh, it's like, oh, God. Like, Oast, you fucking slut. Why? Raftalia's supposed to be that precious little girl that, you pat on the head twice. Also,
Yeah.
Raftalia's in a bikini at one point. Then she was in that,
that was a very revealing bikini, by the way.
There also was not, she was wearing not a kimono, but it called it something else. It was an actual name.
Yukata?
Yeah. And then she was in that samurai armor, and I was like, well, hold the fuck here. Like, are we just going straight up Japanese for everything here? Till finally she's in her real outfit.
Yeah.
I mean, all three girls were in, like, swimsuits. I'm like, listen, two of these people are childs. The other one, I don't know if it's a child or not.
One of them is a raccoon.
God.
I'll stick with it. By the way, you got some like real shit where at some point I couldn't help but giggle, though it's supposed to be a serious scene where Naofumi is dealing with the whole rage stuff, and I forget what the hell her name is.
What, Turtle Girl?
No, the one with the green hair. It's not currently like
Oh,
mainly on
she's
the
not
list.
on here.
It starts with like an R.
Oh, I know who you're talking about.
Rishia?
Rina?
Or-
Rishia.
Not, yeah,
Rishia.
Rishia.
Yeah, 'cause
Rishia.
it's supposed to be like,
yeah.
it reminds me of Rushia from.
Yeah, but he's like fucking grabs her by the neck and chokes her. And
You useless whore!
Yeah. Who's only joined the party just to get into the bow hero's pants? And it's like,
well, he's speaking the truth, but I mean,
the man's not wrong. He's out of line, but he's right. Like,
God, you should upload that to r/anime. He's out of line, but he's right.
yeah, it's like, I mean,
God, that'd be a funny meme to see. He straight up just called her a whore, though.
yeah.
And she didn't even deny it. She's like, yeah, you might be right, but I'm trying. And then, listen, I don't like the whole Kyo thing. It was kind of cheap. Like, it felt like it was just kind of done for stuff. Because she's like, I'm going to touch his attacks. Then he does it again. She's like, I'm going to stand still. It's like, bitch, you're getting cut up. Like, do something.
Yeah, well, the difference is the first time the attacks, there wasn't the gravity thing.
Listen, she can be better than that.
But I'm just saying there is technically a difference between the
that
two
guy's
fights.
aim also sucks. She's standing still.
This entire season was to establish two things. Rishia being stronger than the like worthless outcast that she was in season 1.
She's so
Raftalia becoming a vassal weapon and getting a sword, making her way stronger. And Naofumi also like becoming way stronger. Go figure. And even at the end, he's like, yeah, so we came back and we ended up killing that dude. And the wave was also here.
Yeah.
And because the other 3 fuckers really sucked, they actually had to try hard this time.
They even said, like, because they were useless last time.
Yeah.
It's like, shit, someone finally
like,
said it.
Yeah, he's like, so anyways, I was awarded my own domain, so...
Well, I mean, they went back to the village. They kind of gave that nod of the bow hero was like, yo, what's up, Rushia? What's up, girl? So she still wants it.
She should call rape. Fucking pull one over on him.
I love how after all this, Ren is still a relevant character in this. It's like, fuck off. He was like in like 2 frames this entire season.
Yeah.
Malty and like...
She was there at the end of the season. You saw a silhouette of her.
I wish this My Anime List would update with more relevant characters.
Yeah,
to the season.
specifically to the season, yeah.
Then at the end, once it's fully done, push it back to whatever this is on there.
Mm-hmm.
Oh no, I guess it was an okay end. Oh yeah, then they're all like, hey, let's have a banquet.
Yeah, by the way, they also tease at new characters for the next season,
Yeah,
like
they
a
did.
Beastmaster, which, go figure, is currently being enslaved in fuck boys like circus tent.
Yeah.
Or
I mean,
it's
they showed off a few new characters, and I'm sure that
Mhm.
because Shield Hero's back 2023, they already announced it.
Yeah.
Which it's kind of cool that they already announced it, but it's like, it kind of sucks waiting all this time because we waited, what, like 3 years?
Yeah.
Almost 4
COVID
years?
pushed things
Yeah.
back quite a bit.
But waiting this long to kind of get a mass season, which I guess we kind of knew coming into it. But next season, from what I heard and what DJ said in the manga, it's super good. It's supposed to be like way better than season 1 on there.
Yeah. By the way, I was wondering why Kyo sounded super familiar. We're not talking about it today, but the voice actor for Kyo is also the one that plays the gangster dad in a couple of Cuckoos.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And it's like, man, he's way better in that role.
Yeah. I mean, the fight in the show, the ending fight, I still wish was better or more drawn out on there. Because it was just kind of like friendship. Yeah, hyper beam.
Yeah.
Oh, we did forget to mention those 3 stupid girls that like
Oh, yeah.
were like Gaga wanted to suck off like the katana dude. And then it's like, yeah, I made a homunculus. Well, now, and I made all the girls chimeras. It's like, oh, what are we going to do with these girls?
flashbacks.
Yay, Tucker! Oh, no, Alexander.
I think it would have been a good little reference if he like coughed up like a feather, because then that would be the priest, how he did the homunculus. Like, oh, I'll bring your dead boyfriend back.
Oh,
Yeah, that would have been just the subtlest nod, but it'd be like, see.
To be fair, what was the anime reference thing that you pointed out from Gundam? It was like,
well, yeah,
one
that one's
it's like,
Kaguya.
that'd be so obscure for this show on here. Kaguya's definitely got a way better following, and it's been pretty established.
Overall, this season has had a lot of references to a lot of different things.
Which I wish they'd
like
kind
way
of tone
more.
it back,
Yeah.
but Kaguya makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Shield Hero and all that stuff, I was like, oh, settle down.
Yeah,
Like,
Aharon's had a bunch.
but
I
Aharon's
think,
is like supposed to be like.
I think Spy Family had one, right?
Yeah, they had a couple on there.
Yeah, and it was just one of those like there's been a bunch of references. I think the only ones that really didn't were like Q and Dance Dance and like
Skeletonite didn't. Speaking of Skeletonite,
pretty sure it did.
oh, I guess they did a little bit on. That's right, they did when they were talking about all the people.
Yeah.
Also, can we talk about how Ark? Listen, we already knew he was strong, throwing like giant worms. At one point, he's just taking that Hydra and he's like, "Let me swing it around and throw it." And it's like, what the fuck, Ark? Like, what is this bullshit? And he's like, "Yo," and then he used his god tier beam. So we're talking about Skeletonite. I guess I should preface that they're fighting the Hydra that popped up last episode, and Ark is like trying to fight it. None of his regular attacks work. Then he uses his mega attack that killed that one lizard thing before, cuts off the rest of the heads of the Hydra, and then they grow back because it's a whole Hydra thing.
He didn't cut off the final head at the same time because there was one head cut off, but you're supposed to.
He broke one head, he cut off another head, then he cut off the last 3.
Yeah,
But the problem is you have to kill the Hydra as a whole all at one go, which is why he's like, "This will take 5 minutes," and he starts summoning like that demon beast. I thought it was going to be I thought it was going to be a 5-minute buildup. He's like, no, it's only good for 5 minutes on it. And then he's just throwing this beast around. He's like punching it and knocking out. Like at one point, he punches like one of the heads on the Hydra and kills it. And even the monster tamer's like, "Yo, what the fuck is up with this guy?" And even what was it? Arian?
Yeah,
Arian? She's like, "Oh, so much for being inconspicuous on there," like kind of hidden on there. Ark's just over there killing a Hydra solo on there. They beat the monster tamer because Arian goes to fight him. And he does the whole bat thing. She kills him, then she kills the monster tamer. They kind of tried to give the monster tamer some like quick background, and I'm like, that was not necessary in the least fucking bit.
We got it. He's very much a loser who's just like trying.
You got Anakin Skywalker. Just because you sit on the council does not mean you are one of us.
Yeah.
And then
by the way, it's Ifrit.
Ifrit is the
Yeah.
guy.
Yup. The only reason I even know that name is like slime. Literally, he has
Oh,
a
it has
summon.
another guy?
Yeah, it's supposed to be the same kind.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
The thing they did set up is heavily
demon.
for a second season on there. It wasn't announced, I don't think, but it was definitely set up of, okay, Domatinus is like, he found out, like, they were using this monster tamer guy to develop the rings themselves
Mm-hmm.
so they could tame their own monsters for power. And then the princess is trying to make a pact to get the elves to back her for her bid for
Yeah.
kingdom
'cause,
ownership on there.
Juliana, it finally got announced where it's like, hey, bitch, I'm not dead. And I did the thing I said I was going to do. So.
Well, the other thing, too, is like, she still remembers Ark. Like, at the end, she's like, my savior, I definitely died that
my
day.
angel.
Yeah, my angel. And I was, I'm definitely supposed to do something with this life ever since I was brought back. And Ark's over there just like, I'm just bringing people back. Whatever, fuck it.
I was just trying to be helpful. Like, you do you.
You do you, bitch, on there. I mean, sure. Ninja Girl finds out that Ark is a skeleton on there.
Yeah, and I like how the tone shifts so quickly when it's like, wait, you've been a skeleton this whole time? It's like, why would it matter now? You've literally fought side by side with this person like 4 times.
Don't worry, he's got like a curse that like makes a blah blah blah.
Yeah.
So let's go, Ark. Let's go to the spring. Oh, I totally forgot about that. Yo, he definitely wants that dark elf pussy.
Mm-hmm.
He's definitely after it on there.
Dark Lucy?
Dark pussy.
I tried. I shouldn't have tried.
Yeah, the show kind of ended. I did like the fight at the end. There's not too much to talk about because it was a cool fight. It ended the way I wanted it to end. And it's like, if they did nothing else with the show, it would kind of suck, but it's all right enough. But they definitely are like, yo, we got enough stuff to do with season 2 on there. Hey, that's what I fucking thought. Sorry, the cat's walking up on the speaker thing.
He's like, I guess I'll go exactly where I was
Listen,
before.
the actress for the Dark Elf girl, 10 out of 10. Wife material, I think. I don't know her personally, but definitely looks like some wife material on there. Oh, she does JoJo?
Yeah, remember she does Mikey in Tokyo Revengers?
Mikey! Oh, that was so good. Sorry, we're kind of blasting through them because it's only one episode of each to talk about on them.
Yeah. And
Like, it was the cool thing about what was it, Skeletonite on there? I forgot to mention is how beautiful it was. You know what else was beautiful? Dance to Sewer. Dude, I just want another season. They didn't announce it, Justice.
Well, of course they did.
Like, our boy comes in, he's like, yo, let me fucking do
It's a MAPPA. They do like a whole event for the year.
But the thing is, Lau's mother finally acknowledges him, basically.
Grandma? Man,
It's
that
like, Grandma finally acknowledges him,
dude,
and it's like, so
that
it's
bitch
like,
is cataract all over, like
Cataract?
or eyes.
oh, yeah.
Yeah,
I thought you meant her old decrepit
No.
age. I was like,
no,
what?
it's like she totally didn't see what the fuck happened. Like
No.
she's
Well, maybe. I mean, it
they
just
literally
just
do a
could've been
zoom
art
in
style.
and it's like grayed over.
Well, it
and
could have
it's
been
like,
the art style on there. You know, she was still
No,
like,
come on now.
oh.
it-
It was
she's old and senile.
The thing
The
is-
person that he is trying to get the attention to is, and we even agreed it's just not the same woman that like it would be the attention that he's getting. That's
Yeah. Did you cry at all?
No.
I kind of teared up a little bit on there. You know, the teachers cry. You know, Luau's kind of crying. You know, Miyako is crying. You know, she's listen. She finally admitted her feelings for him. She's like, "You're my dream," and I'm like, "No, you fucking did."
I'm so glad I kissed this other boy just to turn around and have feelings for my cousin.
It was in Alabama.
Fucking whore. No.
Wow.
Look,
she's a strong, independent lady.
That's
out there.
I will say that was one of the gripes with the show. It's a good show. Her character sucks.
You just don't understand ballet.
Shit. Like, oh yeah, because her character is only ballet.
Listen, she's trying her best to do ballet.
Oh yeah,
She's turning away from her problems, but she's definitely fallen in love. Love has no bounds unless they're under the age of 18. Then you're fucked
they're
up.
all under the age of 18.
You're all fucked up.
But like, yeah, specifically, and we shouldn't ignore the fact that she literally got Junpei to join just so like Luau could
It's going to be weird to see season 2 because obviously Lau is going to stick with the school he's been in because he doesn't need anything else. He's already like perfect. He just has to like grow as a person. Junpei has already grown as a person, but he needs to like get his basics.
Yeah. He needs to refine, and he was shocker at the very end of it. He makes it just in time, and
he makes it just time. She's like, "Watch me!" Fucking grabs her, and it's like everyone's like, "Oh my god, don't touch her! Don't touch her! What are you doing? What are you doing?"
Yeah, and of course he gets it anyways. He makes it in, gets the scholarship.
It was cool to see everyone acknowledge. Also, I'm very confused. You have these random characters that are being like,
"Well, that's Dad."
Well, that's Dad and Mom, but they're barely in there. But like, Miko,
he's in there.
I mean, he's the uncle on there. Sorry, it's some of the characters in here. But it was kind of cool because you saw like the instructor Nakamura. He was like, "Listen, you gotta watch him. It's totally worth it." And the piano teacher is in there. The piano player, she's in there. She's like, "Totally worth watching. Let's just start playing on there." And it was cool because the whole wow of it was at the end where instructor acknowledged him in front of the whole class, and then the piano teacher was like, "Sorry, it's been years since I felt this before. I've just gotten caught up in the moment there." And everyone's like, "Holy shit!" And that one dude fucking got what he deserved. Misaki, the dude that was trying to throw him under the bus. Yeah, I understand why he's trying, but
and I appreciate the like crying, like him having his moment of like, this all sucks, where it's like, cool, at least he just doesn't look like a one-dimensional like asshole guy.
Yeah,
that was nice. But
the thing is, next season, I just want to see what's gonna happen because I know they got to do another season, right?
Maybe. It all depends. It is Mappa. They're pretty good about it.
It's been going up.
Well, yeah, but the score doesn't mean anything. The sales mean stuff.
Yeah,
and specifically, like, it almost feels easy to read some of like what the next season would be. They've already kind of established Miyako and Luau. They're gonna do their own thing. Probably, eventually. I would assume in season 2 we would get a time skip by like a year or two,
just so they could do like their academy stuff. Because I don't imagine too much would happen. Also, I completely forgot this whole academy thing was 8 days.
Yeah,
I was like, shit. I never went to check.
It was just like a summer.
I wonder if it was 8 episodes.
I don't think so. I don't believe so.
It is a high chance, maybe. But I mean, yeah, like you said.
But like time skip, Miyako probably still has feelings for Junpei, but with the time skip, it's pretty much established that like Natsuki kind of likes Junpei, and by doing the time skip, it's less awkward. That's the younger, and so there may be some of that stuff that goes in place. Also, doesn't it turn out that like she's the
granddaughter?
Yeah,
like
her.
She's
like her
daughter
mother.
Yeah, I think she's the daughter. That's her mother runs the whole academy.
Yeah, and he didn't know that until like
they started dancing. But the thing is, they've set up these relationships between the characters, like Junpei and Natsuki, Junpei and Miyako, and then Miyako and Luau. So there's this whole kind of like love dynamic, but the whole thing of like, it's probably gonna be a thing where Luau and Miyako enter a competition, and Junpei and Natsuki enter the same competition. It's gonna come down to the end of who's better.
Yeah, but
like who's gonna acknowledge you? I imagine that's what the next season will be.
And I mean, we don't know that. We haven't read the manga or anything else. It's kind of one of the things that I feel that sucks a little bit with this show is it feels predictable. You expect Junpei to get in. You still like. I think it probably would have been way more impactful. Is even at the very end of that, where she's like, she even says like, "Oh, you drug me back in here like to have me watch that," and literally be like, "You're still not getting in," and walk out and seeing like those actions like happen where. Because of course, you're just expecting.
The thing is, she's already acknowledged him and offered him the scholarship before.
Yes, but if he showed up on time,
he was offered it on there.
Oh, it's specifically for 2 conditions. He had to perform the day, there, which is why he showed up, and that he had to relinquish any connections with the other studio.
Which he did both of.
Yes.
I mean,
But
sure, he was a little late.
his,
but
yeah.
I
But
think
that's
the
like the
big
big
turning
thing.
point was her. It kind of sucks because you realize Junpei has to give up everything he wants before.
Mm-hmm.
Like he has to give up Luau, he has to give up my Miyako, and he has to give up his old teacher.
Yeah, Chizuru.
Yeah, and she's like, "Do you give it up?" Yes. Will you give up all connections, never go back? Yes. So it's kind of like that hard thing. I'm like, God, it sucks. But you can kind of side
Also,
with.
at some point, I'd be like, well, in like 3 years when we're done with this anyways, I'll do whatever the fuck I want,
Yeah.
old lady. Like,
Which, I mean, Chizuru, she understands. Like, she kind of pushed him in a way. So I think everyone grew at the end, and especially even the director of the school that, told him he had to quit going to Chizuru. And she even is trying to do a thing that she could have never done. So you can kind of see her side of the thing, why she's trying to be so stuck up, because she wants to be people come to Japan.
But I also feel like that level of motivation is why, like, her being like, well, you still didn't show up on time, and you fucked it up. Like, because he was soaking wet and literally fell. Where it's
He still did a fantastic job.
He did a great job, but
Captured
there
everyone's
are
attention.
like those. But he did show up late and drug her back, and but like he, those kind of stuff where it's like, I feel like it would have been like way better.
Who cares?
Yeah,
You know who else doesn't care? Bookworms.
you about. Is it Bookworm now? You had clicked on Q a minute ago.
Well, I just was sizing it up on there. I mean, I can make a transition to Q as well. Maybe we should,
No, I mean you don't care about either.
it's your cue to transition. Hey.
But
Hey.
so
Bookworm. So we left off.
she was
where
being kidnapped.
I thought they already did finish the kidnapping. Like she
No.
got saved by blue hair dude. Ferdinand.
No,
Oh.
she was only just being kidnapped.
Okay.
That's how it had left off. Dad, who was a night guard, like at one of the posts for the city gate, comes in, saves the day, kinda. May have gotten stabbed just a tiny bit in the shoulder, and they eventually get back to the cathedral. Go fucking figure. Guess who's behind it all? It's the head priest that absolutely hates her, and there's like a scene. Sylvester, I think I had talked about how he had given her like a protective charm just in case, like if anything bad happens, he'll come and he'll help. She activates that. It's like a blood seal 1 where she like wipes the blood on it and then it activates. He never shows up.
Joke's on you. I'm not showing.
Yeah. So eventually it becomes a thing where this Baron, who is the one that's tried to kidnap her and is also conveniently the one that was going to take the baby and like adopt them, which also most of the adults here are just assholes because he's like, yeah, he's just going to be a mana slave. Essentially, it's just there for my extra magic. That's what this boy will exist for. Literally, it's written down in a contract that way. It's like, you're a piece of shit.
Listen, man, if you're gonna solve the energy crisis, might as well sacrifice one for the many.
Oh yeah, whatever. The dude's from a different nation. They're stealing our energy.
Why does that matter? Justice, huh? Trying to be national.
They're stealing our energy.
Wow, sound very 1930s Japanese.
Yeah, whatever. You're talking about sacrificing children
for the greater need.
You're sounding like some 1930s Japanese or 1940s Japanese.
1920s USSR.
Yeah, why not both? But God,
IED baby's gone now, right?
No. So right now, basically, part of the contract was that the baby would be taken care of, but the Duke or whatever, I think the Baron of this other country would force mine to become like his adopted daughter. also a slave, essentially. And all of those contracts are done by blood seals. She has magic, so she's like, I fuck you, and then tries to defend herself. And everyone else around her tries to defend herself. Unfortunately, she, like, almost gets caught. And then Ferdinand that shows up. When he's like, what the fuck happened here? And, like, stops everything from happening. Mine tries to explain where it's like, they're trying to make me a slave, essentially. And, you know, it's the head priest and all of that. But she's a commoner who's attacked a noble. Even if she has more magic than him. It's a noble from a different land. Things get complicated where he's like, you and your family are probably going to get charged. Like, it sucks to be this way. And she's like, man, Sylvester said that he was going to come help. And she pulls out the necklace. Turns out the necklace is actually a catch-22. Yeah, so the come and help portion, they alluded to because one of the rings, which was supposed to bind as a contract, didn't work. That's because when she did the blood seal, she became Sylvester's daughter through that action. It was kind of a secret gotcha with him, just in case, as a protection measure. Because it turns out Sylvester isn't just like the high-level priest. He is the king of the nation.
I forgot to mention I'm king.
The one in charge.
That's
and
fucking bullshit out.
Well, in her case, she's like,
the convenience
she's like, wait, the problem is some of those information, she's only ever lived in peasants' quarters and like at the church. And she knew Sylvester and Ferdinand like know each other well. Turns out they're brothers. Ferdinand is also a noble, but they have different dads. So things are...
So he's a bastard?
Yes, which is why he's a priest. But Sylvester doesn't have a kid, and he wants a kid. They do get along, mine and Sylvester.
I've seen what the priests have done in the Catholic Church. They can get a kid if
well,
they want a kid.
He's not a lord, or he's the lord of the nation. He'll do whatever the fuck he wants at this point.
King, lord is a lower form. Justice,
yeah,
how
whatever.
do you? King is much better.
Yeah, they don't
Wow,
explicitly
maybe
call
if
him
you were
a king.
a king, you would know that.
Yeah, are you?
Listen here,
You're king of the porcelain throne over there. But
what's so bad about that?
it's a pretty low standings.
King's a king.
But yeah, it's like, oh, you know, they capture both the head priest, who also turns out conveniently to be the uncle, where it's like, why is everyone family? And of course, because mine's supposed to be like 9, she just doesn't know all of that stuff. She knows some of the stuff from when she was in the regular human world that she's trying to work towards, but like the heavy intricacies of stuff because she grew up like in the commoner section, she just doesn't know and weren't taught. And it's like you've attacked the daughter of the Lord, so the Baron is like totally being put to death. And it's like, get fucked, bitch. That's kind of how it ends. Unfortunately, the little caveat is mine's parents were forced to sign a contract to basically say mine died during this incident, and can never refer to them as sister or daughter ever again.
Do you think that was a well-written like twist?
There were plenty of hints to it, specifically, especially looking
awfully
back.
Convenient and bullshit. If I better never hear you complain about something being too convenient ever again.
So part of the problem is I had just never paid attention.
It's too convenient. Now, that's your excuse now? You didn't pay attention?
There are hints looking back that show that he is way higher than he should ever be.
So is Willie Nelson, but...
Well, that's different. But specifically, there's an episode
But the whole contract thing.
Of weeks back.
That's a pretty convenient...
It was supposed to be like a charm thing, but I mean, it does help.
So
he said that he would be there.
So
he said that he
correction,
would be there
audience.
to help.
Justice admits that this is well written and the convenience doesn't matter. So next time we have something this convenient.
Because the difference is there's something that can pop up and it's like, well, that's kind of convenient. And then there's this where the whole like daughter thing, she was under the impression, and even so was the audience. Like, I was like, oh, that's a little weird, but whatever. But
Till conveniently.
like instead of it being a protective charm where he shows up out of nowhere, it's a protection of like her being under the protection of the lord of the literal country. So it's more of a play on stuff, but there are like other stuff looking back where it's like the rings, meaning that she couldn't bind any other contracts because she was already assigned that. And even at one point, Benno, one of the individuals she works with, who is like a merchant, he's like has to go and meet with both Ferdinand and Sylvester, but he gets like extra fancy and speaks really high, like in his nobility kind of speak. And it's even pointed out where she's like, why is he being like extra formal, like with just these two priests? So, unlike something that is overly convenient, there are still hints that something is off. It's just, like, different. It's different.
It seems
It seems like you would have to watch it to get it.
Seems awfully convenient for, you know. What? That's your cue.
No. That extra little like echo thing there was because he just had a mini seizure and hit the microphone.
Listen, that transition was great. It was your cue.
Yeah,
Say
whatever.
something.
The
Speaking of cues, cue.
So
Justice told me something pretty interesting about the show the other day.
Yeah, so
So
all
care
of,
to share that information?
all of the girls are actually part of a voice acting group called Air Blue, which is the name of the voice acting company in the anime. They are also all split up in groups of 4, and the ones that are in each group correspond correctly to the groups that they split off in the anime. And I'm assuming the game as well that it's based on. So I was like, oh, that's super neat. I didn't expect that to be like that IRL, but it's cool.
Cringe.
Whatever.
Maybe
They're living their dream. They're over in Japan. You're not.
My dream is to live in Japan.
Mine is.
My dream is to go back to the fatherland.
Yeah, now's not a great time for that.
Germany's not too bad. Russia's the motherland. Germany's the fatherland.
Yeah.
Listen, Germany's pretty nice. They got free healthcare.
Now.
Well, yeah. Listen, correction. I want to live in post 1995 Germany.
Yeah, that's fair. But they say episode 23 of Q is them kind of being extra nervous, feeling because Bloom Ball, the anime that we see that they're working on, so the anime inside the anime, is about to end, and they're recording their final episode. Everything goes smoothly. Everyone's like super happy.
Did you cry?
Huh?
Did you cry at the end of the show? Wow. Heartless.
No. Well, this is the second to last episode. Calm down.
Oh, why we?
And the final episode was actually kind of interesting. It wasn't something that I was expecting, but it's like, I'm glad that this was the final episode because it's kind of the bittersweet ending where after Bloom Ball has ended and their like major project with a bunch of them is done, the final episode kind of revolves around where it's like no one really has any major voice acting work that they're doing, and like a lot of them are kind of like in a slump where it's like, well, what do we do now? They've been applying for other shows to do, and none of them have really gotten a role for it. So they pretty heavily kind of focus on that, and one of the ones that they focus on is the podcast girls, where they're like, oh, our numbers are down. It's like, well, we've been doing that game stuff, which is essentially us playing the video game and just doing the podcast essentially. So it's kind of like cannibalized part of the audience. And it's like, that's real stuff that can happen if you're doing two things that are too similar. One of them that might be way more interesting that people are going to watch more, and then you lose the audience of the core thing you started anyways. So seeing some of that stuff, and they kind of end the episode with them doing the podcast, but instead of it being just them four, it's all 16 of them. And man, logistically, it's one microphone in the center of a room. And
I remember doing that once.
Huh?
Oh, I guess
yeah, but doing it with 16 people and being like a professional podcast that's being broadcasted to like 20,000 people live.
I saw that Cali stream.
Yeah. It's one of those like, God, the logistics of that where it's like everyone needs to like sit here. We're doing a test recording. You're going to say your name and then we're playing it back. If you sound like shit, you're moving over.
Or if we could just buy another microphone.
And they don't make that much money.
Just do it in the studio. Just be like, hey, studio san, can we do an episode here?
No, because even then in the studios, there's typically only 3. And
in a podcast studio, there's like 4.
Yeah, but they're microphones like this.
Yeah.
Versus like it just placed in a room and everyone sounds decent.
Just get better mics. Listen, there's mics laying around all over the place in the studio like that. Come on.
Do you know how much those microphones cost?
Just buy some cheaper ones. Look at these. $100, baby, right here. Sounds good.
No, they're not making massive amounts of money. Half of them have part-time jobs.
Sorry, that's their fault, not mine.
Yeah, whatever. Well, they're living their dream being anime kawaii girls.
That's not my dream. Is that your dream, Justus?
Shut up. But yeah, that basically is how it ends. They go to audition for like a show that the or their manager was once the lead for. So it's supposed to be like a 20 years later spin-off show of the daughter kind of thing. And she used to play the lead, so now she's the mom. So
is Q getting a season 2, you think?
I'm not sure. I'd be surprised if it did.
Pretty mid show, because this isn't based off anything, right? Well,
it's just based off of a game.
Which usually I don't think those really get another season on there, because they'd have to be pretty good just by themselves.
By the way, surprisingly enough, the popularity in rank is pretty high.
Yeah, like, because it's degenerates like you.
Yeah, whatever. But that's basically it this season. We'll be talking about Comey.
You know what's funny? It has a higher rating than Shield Hero. And Shikamori.
Yeah. Talk shit.
Shikamori's better?
No, it is totally not. Shikamori is the weakest rom-com we have, and you cannot deny that.
Debatable.
Really? What do you think is?
Dance to Sewer.
I wouldn't specifically focus that as a romance show, especially the comedy aspect.
Okay, Shield Hero, weakest rom-com. There's almost no rom-com in it. It's weakest.
Because it's not a rom-com.
Yep, see, it's the weakest. It's no
You're
rom-com
so
in
shit.
it. Fuck you.
Yeah, whatever.
So next week we're going to finish up everything else.
No, we can't. I mean, there's still the one episode
we have to do something because stuff's already started. So next week we're going to talk more about what we're doing.
Yeah, and then we'll have one episode of Comey.
Tell you what, we'll figure it out next week.
Yeah, certain shows started late, and then Shikamori was delayed by 2 weeks. So yeah, things got a little flubbed up. We'll figure it out, and then we'll get on to the next season, which again won't have as many shows just because we want to try it.
Watching everything.
No. You can do a segment entirely by yourself after I leave if you want to do that. But
Post show?
no. God. Do you want to edit more?
Yeah.
That was
more views. Wasn't the views have been going up?
Yeah. But we want to be able to do more kind of like special stuff, or maybe we'll bring someone on and kind of like who isn't super interested in anime or hasn't seen a bunch and interact with that and kind of do something other than the weekly stuff. We like the weekly stuff. It's really good. It gives us an outlet to talk about the shows. But trying to do more instead of just exactly the same thing that we've been doing for 90 episodes.
Yo. Hentais and Haters, episode 1 next week.
Oh, God. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed, please subscribe.